friends. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! This is the card I'd like to show you today. It is similar to a card that I used for a swap recently. I think I posted my swap card here. I used a different flower though, and I thought this was easier for my customers. I sponged multiple colors on the one stamp. My card base is thick Whisper White. I have a little bit of Tranquil Tide. This is 1.5 by 5 1/4. A layer of Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4. And just a little scrap of Whisper White. It needs to be at least 2 by 3. And then I have some powder pink 1/2 inch finely woven ribbon. Love this ribbon. I'm using Label Me Pretty and Touches of Texture. My card base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Basic card base, fits great in the medium envelope. Pulling in a scrap of paper. I'm using this Lacy Image and Tranquil Tide ink, and I'm just stamping across the bottom. Just to add a little something on the inside. And you might want to stamp your envelope as well. And we're also going to stamp on this top edge of this strip of Tranquil Tide. It doesn't go all the way across, but I'm going to be putting this label on the left side. So I've got kind of my seam on this left side. I should have just started with my grid paper. What I would like to do is mark on my grid paper where I'm going to put this layer, and then mark this layer on top of that, and then I need a 1/2 inch for the ribbon. So this is where I'm going to be putting my flowers. I'm going to stamp Berry Burst. I think this is my favorite new color. I love it. Stamping the Berry Burst in, and while I have that Berry Burst out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the border of the label, so that I can put this ink away. I stamped this same image on some sticky notes, and I actually cut out a whole stack of sticky notes to go with this. I cut just inside the lines so that hopefully I can mask this off. Then I'm going to stamp this flower bundle on over the mask and up to the left corner and the right corner. And remove that mask. While I have that Tranquil Tide stamp out, I'm going to stamp You're the Best. Then I'm going to use powder pink. And I tried to match this up. You might want to use the Stamp-A-Majig, but really it doesn't matter a whole lot. And then I'm going to just kind of randomly stamp the pink. I just want to put a little color on these flowers here. They definitely won't match exactly. This has 5 petals and these only have 4. Now if you stamped this on a larger scrap, you should be able to hold on to it, but this one doesn't really fit and be able to hold on to it. So I'll just use a sticky note here. And I'm using the new Pretty Label Punch that coordinates with Label Me Pretty. If you buy these two together, you can get the bundle price and save yourself 10%. Don't you love that? So I'm just going to add some adhesive. And I probably should have used the green glue here because it gives you a little more wiggle room here. I've got about 12 inches of ribbon, and I'm going to tie this around the D block in just a knot. Looks like I've got more than I need. And I have my third hand, an alligator clip from the electrical department in the hardware store. And I'm just going to pull one side of my knot and then tighten up the other side. Pretty knot most every time. And this one, I want to have my knot off to the right. So measure out where you want to snip it. A little adhesive on the back. And I don't know if you noticed, but when I cut my ribbon, I cut it at diagonal, and when I snipped it just now, I snipped it straight so I know which piece is which. You might want to put a little adhesive here in the middle, just to kind of keep it where you want it. And I have my label. I'm going to put a dimensional on the top and the bottom because the sides will be going on the ribbon. And want to kind of hold that ribbon down. Then I'm going to put this on with dimensionals to the card base. I like to have one in the middle just to add a little sturdiness to that card. Stick it on the front. And there's my card. I think this is such a pretty card. So easy to do and so easy to change it up with different sentiments and borders. If you would like to get Label Me Pretty and the Pretty Label Punch, I would recommend it as a bundle. Come on over to bevadams.com. I'll have all the directions from this card on my website, and I'll try and remember to link to this card too. Talk to you soon. Bye.